Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 6 of this season's Fuel Premier Series from Watkins Glen International Raceway. And welcome to the Finger Lakes Tour 93. My name's Matt Owens. I will be your commentator and producer this evening. It is a beautiful day here in upstate New York, where we've got 38 laps of action in store for you guys. Green flag is going to drop here in just a little bit, 3 p.m. sim time. The guys and girls are going to have 2 extra sets of tires, a 75% fuel load for this evening. So we should have at least 1 green flag stop. Got about 9.5 more minutes of practice remaining. So watch these guys navigate through the S's here. See just about everybody out on track getting in some extra practice tonight. This is the first and only road course on the schedule for this season. It's Watkins Glen, so a lot of these guys should know it pretty well. We've got quite a bunch of competitive lap times in the front of the field. The first 7 cars all within 0.2 of a second of each other. So we're looking to have a pretty competitive race tonight. I cannot wait to get it started. One of my favorite tracks. One of the only road courses I'd say I'm pretty decent at. I'm going to go ahead and ride along here with our current second place lap car, or second place car here in practice. The 112.776. This is Jackson Robillard's number 98. That knee-high septic service machine. That is a very I really like that scheme. That's pretty funny. Currently, the top of the charts, Mitchell Welker right here, the number 76 Fast Orange Chevrolet with a 112.758, so barely, only 18 hundredths faster than Jackson Robillard at the moment. 68 hundredths behind Jackson, the 08 of Christian Kendall and the Sleep Token 08 Chevrolet. We also have the 84 of Bobby Sweeney right here, only 86 hundredths back from Christian. 42 of Chad Simpson, last week's winner at Michigan. Currently 5th on the board. Well, we still got some time. Our current point standings, they've been updated. So Christian Kendall, our points leader, still at the top of the charts with 855 points. Chad Simpson, after last week's win, that moves him up to second place, only 26 points behind Christian. Ryan Kish was in second last week, but he did move back 1 spot. He's currently 24 points behind Chad Simpson. In fourth place, Lyle Swearingen also dropped down 1 spot. That number 68 car, 29 points behind Ryan. Then everybody else after that from 5th on back, Zach Passon, still sitting in 5th in the points, only 22 points back. Will Roberts currently sitting in 6th. Will has already let us know he may not make it in time for the race. If that's the case, he's going to join me in the booth tonight, so that should be a fun time. Will be very pleased to know he's 69 points back of Zach Passon. 7th place Jackson Robillard, and then number 98, Knee-High Septic Service Chevrolet. He's only 4 points behind Will. If Will doesn't show up, then he's sure to drop out of the top 10 tonight. And we've got the 77 at Ryzen Baker, 24 behind Jackson Robillard. Jared Dixon in the yellow, number 16. No Fear Machine. 8 points behind Ryzen Baker. And then round out our top 10, Sarah Tussum in the number 70, back in that LaCroix Chevrolet this week. I think same as last week. We do have a new leader at the top of the charts here in practice. Zach Buchanan, the number 40 Ford Taurus, with a 112.507. 0.2 faster. Oh, the track must be really picking up now. Christian Kendall just broke that time with a 112.436. So Christian looking for another strong race here, as he has pretty much all season. Has yet to pull into victory lane, but has been by far the most consistent of our drivers here this season, so that's why he is at the top of the charts. Got a couple new faces, or at least one. The 03 here of Brendan Queen, and that it looks like Chevrolet branded Chevrolet. Brendan joining us tonight for his Fuel Premier Series debut. Richard Hurst back with us tonight in that number 18 car. First time in a couple weeks. Jared Wakefield with a little bit of a modification to his scheme. You can see the brake rotor is really glowing there going into the bus stop. Oh, hang on to her, Jared. Jared's able to hang on. Maybe. There he goes. Going through the carousel there. Onto, I guess, what you would say is kind of like the back straightaway here at Watkins Glen. So, for anybody new, we do still use the Winston Cup formula here. It is slightly modified just to keep the field a little bit closer together and keep the points more competitive. So the points are closer. There's less of a gap between positions for points payout. There's a number of bonus points, though, you can earn in any given race. 5 points for leading a lap, 5 points for leading the most laps, 5 for the fastest lap, 5 for pole, and 5 points handed out to hard charger, which is anybody who gains the most positions during the race. But you do have to set a competitive qualifying lap to earn the hard charger. We got no in-race reporter this evening. It is the only road course race of the season. Not predicting any full course cautions this evening. They are very rare on road courses. So outside of just being able to talk to somebody for 2 seconds before the race starts, wouldn't really have an opportunity to pull them up into the booth, so we're going to give the guys a night off from having to do any work up here. Zach passing out here, getting some laps in as well. Oh, it looks like Will was able to get in just in time. It says he's loading in, so Will should be racing tonight. That's good to see. We don't want to see Will not make the race. That'll have 20 cars in the field tonight, so it should be a really good race tonight. A lot of action here. These guys and girls are going to turn right and left for the first and only time this season. Mitchell Welker back up to the top of the charts with a 112.161. Jared Wakefield right behind with a 112.223. So the track is definitely picking up speed, and these guys are getting better. Only 40 seconds left in practice, so we'll see who we can ride along with in qualifying. While we wait, I'm going to take my last announcer's break before we drop the green flag in just a few minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to arrive with the number 19, Zach Passon, here on his qualifying attempt. Earlier in the season, we tried to ride along with Zach on his qualifying attempt, and just happened to do so at Daytona, where he rolled in a 3.5-minute lap, I think. Was rolling around as slow as possible, which was quite entertaining, I have to say. So I don't think this one will be as long as that lap at Daytona. Once we get around the first lap, we will go on board with Zach so we can see exactly what it looks like on the inside of these cars going around Watkins Glen. All right, coming out of the final corner here, going to need a strong exit as to not fall behind a couple tenths even before the first corner. This first corner will set you up for the entire section going into the bus stop. Very important to get a smooth exit out of turn 1 there, because you got a full, just straight acceleration almost all the way through the S's as well. Zach being a little ginger on the throttle here. Tires are still cold on lap 1. You got a hard right-hander coming up for the bus stop. Already hard on the brakes. It's as close to that barrier on the inside there as possible. Very clean through the bus stop. Cut it really low here through the carousel. Hard acceleration, gonna go wide. Yes, he is, to carry as much speed as possible. Cut it back onto the track. This fast left-right to end the lap. Zach going to want to get a little bit more into that one next time around. But he's just gingerly driving it around the circuit here to warm the tires up. But all right, attempt number 2. Gets everything he can there. Going into turn 1. Really strong, smooth exit. Had the second fastest lap so far on lap 1. A 1:12.357. A lot of times on the road courses, slow ends up being fast. You gotta keep the car in control. Not too far off of Mitchell Welker's current pole time. Really nice and smooth through the bus stop again. So far, so good. Looks pretty much identical on the outside, at least here, as it did last time. Ooh, a little squirrely on the exit there. Not going as wide this time. Gonna swing it out as far as possible before hitting these last 2 corners. Able to carry a good amount of speed through the second to last corner, and the final corner here can make or break your lap. See where that puts the 19. Is he able to improve? Yes, a little bit, but not enough to take the pole away from the 76 of Mitchell Welker, who improves on his second lap as well. Man, a 0.2 of a second gap from Mitchell Welker back to second place of Zach Passon here. Well, wanted to wanted to see how Will was doing on his outlap. Doesn't seem like he got very far. He's got 5.5 more minutes left. Actually, the only one besides the 84 of Bobby Sweeney to not put a time in yet, or even not put a lap in. Some have put in a few laps, but they were not counted. Interesting. But we'll ride with Will here. Probably going to try to get a feel for the car. Did not get any practice. But Will is not one to tiptoe around the track, even with or without practice. Definitely cautious on the bus stop right there. Just trying to get it around to start lap number 1. All right, Will's going to need a smooth exit here to carry a lot of speed through the final corner to start lap number 1 for him. There we go. Really good job there from the 2 car. Gets a really good exit. Hard on the brakes for turn 1. Really nice and smooth on the throttle on the exit there. It's a little bit different of approach. He came through that first corner there into the S's a little wider than we saw the 19. As Will gets a little bit squirrely coming out of the S's there, coming into the bus stop, hard on the brakes. Want to get as close to that blue wall as possible without hitting it to get the absolute perfect entry into the bus stop. Slow and steady around the carousel. Start picking up the throttle now. Not as wide on the exit there as Zach Passon earlier. All right, Will needs a strong exit here to set up. Ooh, locked up that right front a little bit. That is not going to be great. Still going to power through to try to salvage what he can for the second lap. Hard on the brakes for turn 1. As Will puts a 114.1 in. That's going to have him at the second slowest of anyone with a lap time in currently. To be expected, Will again missed all of practice. Probably sped on his way home like a fool. Drifting out of the S's there. Hard on the brakes again into the bus stop. Keep it really smooth here in the carousel. How wide is he going to go? Wider than last time, so carrying a little bit more speed this time. Hopefully that lockup into the final corner didn't hurt him too bad. Much better in that second to last turn this time. And through the final corner, did not lock up this time. Learned a little bit. Really good exit. Oh, keep it off the wall there. All right, much better lap for Will, but still only up to 12th. A 1:13.383 was about a second and a half faster than his first lap, so definitely going to pick up the pace here. We can either sit with Will for a minute. Looks like he's going to try to run out the rest of this minute and 13 seconds on qualifying to get just a little bit of extra practice in. None of these laps will count. Gonna be really ginger on the throttle on the exit there of the carousel. pulling it right down pit lane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be everybody's qualifying lap. We will get you the grid here in just a second. Wow, yeah, Mitchell Welker with a massively fast time, 0.2 of a second over second place. But everybody else, though, for second to fifth place, all within 0.3 of each other, or a tenth or two of each other, actually. So still going to be a really competitive race. We did see Mitchell Welker a couple weeks ago absolutely destroy everyone at Long Beach in the IndyCar World, or the Fuel World Series on Thursday nights. Took those guys to the woodshed. I think won by like 35 seconds or something. All right, everybody's starting to grid up. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mitchell Welker, your pole sitter for the evening. On the outside, as the first turn is a right-hander here at Watkins Glen. Mitchell Welker with a 112.014 going to be on pole. Outside pole, Jared Wakefield in the number 72 Chevrolet, a 112.242. So you can see the gap there between first and second. Third place, Zach Passon with a 112.266. Fourth place, Christian Kendall in the 08 with a 112.274. Chad Simpson going to roll off fifth in that number 42 car, the 112.435. Jackson Robillard of the 98 is going to roll off sixth with a 112.493. The 87 of Nicholas Sudik with a 112.783 is going to roll off in seventh place. Eighth place, the number 70 of Sarah Tessum with a 112.826. Rolling off ninth, the 40 of Zach Buchanan with a 112.847. And then rolling off 10th, the 68 of Lyle Swearingen at 112.932. 11th, we got the 52 of Ryan Kish. On his outside, the 2 of Will Roberts. Going to be in 12th. And then 13th, we got Ryzen Baker here in the number 77. 14th, the 38 of Rob Kubat. 15th, we have Richard Hurst in the number 18. Brendan Queen rolling off 16th in the number 03. 17th, we have the 84 of Bobby Sweeney. 18th, the 59 of Evan Adams with no time. These guys decided not to qualify. They're going to just start in the back tonight. And the final two, Jared Dixon rolling off 19th in that number 16. And then the 20th position, the 37 of Mina Diorsi is going to round out your field. So Mitchell Welker with a very, very fast number 76 fast orange Chevrolet. Is going to be leading our field of 20 cars to the green flag here in just a few minutes. Well, not even a few minutes, just a second or two. The lights are out on the pace car. We should be good to go this time around. See the 42 of Chad Simpson there warming up the tires. Yeah, not really sure what to expect from this car on road courses. We have not raced it around any. We've only been taking it on left-hand turn tracks only. So this is the first time these guys are going to turn right in this car at fuel competition. And they're going to test it right away with two back-to-back right-handers here. All right, Mitchell Welker going to lead us to the green. Going to wait for Barney to wave it. Green flag is out. We are racing at Watkins Glen. Strong start from the 76 of Mitchell Welker, pulling away pretty well. We do have a big crash on the exit of turn 1. Lots of cars involved. Oh, you have our championship leader, the 08 of Christian Kendall, the 2 of Will Roberts with a lot of damage, the 40 of Zach Buchanan with a ton of damage as well. 38 of Rob Kubat, not too worse for wear, looks okay. We're gonna have to go see exactly what happened there at the end, the exit of turn 1. It looks like we had a huge wad of cars. All right, guys, we're going to ride here. Will Roberts in the 2 car. I'm not sure exactly where this all started. I know Will was involved. Let's see exactly what went down, see if we can see how it went. Oh, started way in front of Will. Nowhere to go for Will there. Absolutely nowhere to go. The 08 of Christian Kendall and the 40. Just getting turned right in front of him. So let's go. Let's see exactly what happened. We're gonna ride behind the 08 of Christian Kendall here. All right, let's go to the chopper cam for turn number 1. We watch the 08, the 40. Oh, the 40 of Zach Buchanan, not clear. Tries to clear himself on the nose of the 42 car of Chad Simpson. Just caught up in it. No fault of his own. The 08 of Christian Kendall, our championship leader. Not what he wanted to see at the very beginning of this race. Will Roberts with nowhere to go. Big damage for the 08 machine. Let's see. Must have gotten some of it fixed. Not enough of it. Still looking pretty rough, I must say. Yeah, the 18 back there also with a bumper that is flopping all over the front of his car. The 68 of Lyle Swearingen with a ton of damage as well. Not what the 08 of Christian Kendall needed to continue leading the championship. As just a reminder, here's the update, the updated points. That is exactly what Chad Simpson wanted to see. 72 of Jared Wakefield faking there a little bit. Looks like this will be the lap we have most people come in for a pit stop to fix their damage. Yeah, everybody in the back of the pack. Will's car is completely destroyed. Let's follow along the 08 of Christian Kendall. He is the championship leader, so let's see exactly how long it takes for him to get his car repaired. As dare I say it, there might be some championship implications here on the opening lap of Watkins Glen. Yeah, big damage for a lot of these guys. We do not have fast repairs here, the Fuel Premier Series. 59 of Evan Adams going to roll off pit lane. Yep, everybody looking pretty rough out here on the front straightaway. Lights are still on in the pace car, so we should have at least one more pace lap. That might be exactly what the 42 of Chad Simpson needed to take over the championship lead by the end of the night. I'm sure Christian Kendall not going to be too happy about it. Let's see how they're doing now. They're all still on pit lane. The 03 there of Brendan Queen coming off of pit lane. If you recognize the name, Brendan actually races. He is in the Cars Tour Championship. I've seen him race a few times in person at Langley. I have to say the 03. I'm not sure what his sponsor is this year. I haven't been out to Langley since the opening day. The Cars Tour weren't there, but you can also catch Brendan racing sometimes in the Truck Series, the Craftsman Truck Series, and the ARCA Menard Series. Full time in the ARCA Menard Series, I believe, this season. I think they won at Dover actually last week. So congrats to him. Glad to see him here with us. All right, lights are out on the pace car, so we should be getting the green this time by. Say that initial wreck really took out quite a few cars. Christian Kendall disconnecting. His day might be done. 98 of Jackson Roblard still on pit road as well. We got some cars trying to catch up to the field here. We do still do single file restarts and will for the remainder of the season. That 52 of Ryan Kish got a good amount of damage as well. Hopefully it's just cosmetic and nothing on the inside of the car is damaged. It looks like our championship leader might have gotten the worst of that accident. We've got a couple cars catching back up to the field. That's the 77 of Reisenbaker, the 68 of Lyle Swearingen behind him. The guys and girls are going to get the green flag this time by. All right, pace car is off. The 76 of Mitchell Welker goes pretty quickly. Gets a massive jump on the 72 of Jared Wakefield, and we are back under green. Lap number 5 here at Watkins Glen. And the Finger Lakes Tour 93 is finally underway. I believe everybody getting through turn 1 pretty okay. Yep, we still have a few people in the pit lane. Of Zach Buchanan, very slow, but is missing the whole front end of his car. So far, so good for the 76 Fast Orange Chevrolet. Jared Wakefield close behind, only a half second back. Zach Passon right behind him in that number 19. So Lyle Swearingen, Reisenbaker, and Evan Adams did not go a lap down. We're able to catch back up to the field. That's Reisenbaker there, actually. Headed back down pit road to fix some damage, I believe. Probably was trying to catch back up to the field before they caught the green, as to lose not too much time, but the car must not be handling as well as he would like. So we got a little bit of a breakaway. These first couple cars already starting to pull away from the 52 car. I'd even say these First three cars starting to pull away from the 42 of Chad Simpson. Half a second to the 72 of Jared Wakefield, and 4/10 back to Zach Passon. Then a full second to that 42 of Chad Simpson. But we got a long way to go. Only lap number 6 here. See the 19 going wide to get as much speed as possible on the exit there. '76 car looking strong. Mitchell Welker. We do have some action back here. The 84 of Bobby Sweeney trying to catch up to Nicholas Sudik in that 87 Taco Bell machine. At the moment, this is our closest battle in the top 10. 84 Bobby Sweeney going to try to maybe get a move done here. Nope, he's happy to pull back in line for the bus stop. Jared Dixon in the 16 trying to get around Ryan Kish. Ryan in the 52 car with a lot of damage. Brendan Queen up to 10th. After coming down pit road on that very first caution. Car's looking very clean though for the 03. Riding on board with the 84 of Bobby Sweeney here. Still trying to work over the 87 of Nick Sudik. Should be able to try to make the pass here going into turn 1. Thinks better of it, doesn't want to force it. Still early on in the race. 03 of Brendan Queen on the move though. Using that real life racecraft to get around the 52 and the 16. Showing those guys how it's done. Yeah, in 10th place, the 52 of Ryan Kish starting to fall back a little bit. Probably a little bit of a lack of speed. This road course is probably the most aero dependent of any road course we would go to. It is a very fast road course. Not a lot of complex turns. Will Roberts still not back out on track. So we got the 40 car, the 2, the 77, and the 08 all pretty much out of this race. So Mitchell Welker comes around across the line to put them a lap down. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 car breakaway back to the 87 of Nicholas Sudik. 70 of Sarah Tessum here, about a second ahead of him. Just running her race so far, doing a great job. 87 of Nick Sudik still keeping the 84 of Bobby Sweeney behind him. But not too far behind them, actually, is the lap car of Jackson Robillard, the number 98 knee-high septic machine. I love that paint scheme. I'm going to have to, honestly, say, I think this 98's got scheme of the night tonight. So congrats to the 98 of Jackson Robillard. And just looking at it makes me laugh. It's really funny. There's multiple ways you can win the paint scheme of the night award, apparently. The 84 there of Bobby Sweeney had to cut through the bus stop. So we'll have a little bit of a slowdown. It's exactly what the 03 of Brendan Queen wanted to see. As he is on a march up to these guys. Restarted in the back on that restart. Already up to 8th at the moment. Jared Wakefield and Zach Passon getting a little closer here. Zach is starting to reel Jared in just little by little. Mitchell Welker not getting too far out on the 72 of Jared Wakefield. But so far, so good for that fast orange Chevrolet, number 76. Yeah, back to 5th place here in the number 70, the Croy Chevrolet. This is a 6.5 second gap back from Mitchell Welker, the leader. Gonna ride on board here with Sarah as she gets through the bus stop. Really nice and smooth there. Number 98 now of Jackson Robillard, Jackson Robillard, excuse me. He is a couple laps down, but trying to dice his way through the field. Get around this number 87 car. It's exactly what the 84 Bobby Sweeney wants to see. Right now, Zach Passon closing in on the 72 of Jared Wakefield for second place. Jared calls Zach the inevitable Zach Passon, so we will see exactly how inevitable he is. There is a little damage I can see on that 42 of Chad Simpson on that right front from the incident with the 40 of Zach Buchanan. But it shouldn't hamper him too much here. The 19 of Zach Passon going to try to make the pass on Jared Wakefield here. The 72 getting everything he possibly can. Wants to stay on his inside, but is not going to be able to do it. The 19 of Zach Passon seems to be inevitable. Passing the 72 here. 11 laps into this one. Coming to lap number 12 of 38 already. Should be a pretty quick one here tonight, especially if we don't get any too many more incidents. So the 18 of Richard Hurst also pulling her down pit road. Going to be ending his night. Zach Buchanan, Christian Kendall also disconnected, so they are done for the night. Will Roberts still on pit lane. Ryzen Baker still on pit lane. Currently, Rob Kubat also on pit lane, getting some damage repaired. But Sarah Tessum doing everything she needs to do just for a nice solid top 5 tonight. And Mitchell Welker doing everything he needs to do for a solid W tonight. Currently, a 1.8 second gap to Zach Passon, the 19 car. It's right on board with Mitchell for a lap here, so we can really see exactly how fast our leader is getting around the track. Let's go to the roll. Nope. I would say not much of a difference there. See how it almost feels like he's going too slow in the corner there? Like I'm telling you, it's something that I learned from this game or this service myself. If you want to be fast on road courses, especially in a stock car, the slower it looks, usually the faster it is. I mean, just so smooth, especially with the throttle. Has bled about 1/10 to Zach Passon this lap, but I mean, that doesn't mean much on a very, very long road course. 1 minute and 12 second lap times. We'll see exactly what Mitchell Welker is able to run this time by. Last time a 1:12.5. Actually 2/10 slower than Zach Passon last time. A 1:12.609 this time, 1.5 tenths faster than second place Zach Passon. And the fastest on the track, still your leader, Mitchell Welker. Bobby Sweeney in that 84 car got around Jackson Robillard in the 98 and is now starting to work on getting closer to that 87 car to try to get back around him. Or to start working on him like he was several laps ago before he blew the bus stop. The 03 of Brendan Queen has kind of frozen into the field here where he's been for a little while. Currently still in 8th. And 84 is hunting for 6th place. He is caught back up to the 87. Yeah, we probably have better looking schemes out here than that 98 of Jackson Robillard and that the knee-high septic service, but it looks so good. It looks like it's straight out of the NASCAR Thunder games that I know it's from, and well, just the sponsor itself is really funny. So I really like the way that 84 car looks, and that Jeff Gordon throwback. See, we have a couple other new schemes out here tonight. The 38 of Rob Kubat out here in a Scott's Carl Edwards throwback, or as Dale Jr. would say, Scouts. There it is. Chad Simpson still out here in the sexy number 42 that he's been having all season. Still love it. Sarah Tessum back with her her number 70 LaCroix Chevrolet. Was running a Tony Hawk scheme for a while. Love that one. But Bobby Sweeney still trying to get around the 87 car without forcing the issue. Oh, excuse me. Zach Passon was had passed by Jared Wakefield. Not sure exactly what happened. Maybe overdrove the bus stop. But currently working on trying to get back around the 72. Mitchell Welker with currently a 2.6 second lead on the 72 of Jared Wakefield. We were getting pretty close to halfway. Would think that these guys will come down pit road shortly after maybe lap 19 or 20 to come down and go ahead and just fill up the tank and get some tires, split the race in half. '19 is Zach Passon, actually dropping back from the 72 Jared Wakefield here. Maybe Jared just got back around him. Yeah, Zach losing a little bit of time here to Jared again. Coming through turns 1 and into the S's. 70 of Sarah Tessum also, something must have happened to her as well. She has come back really close here to the 87 of Nick Sudik. Bobby Sweeney dropped off of him as well. Brendan Queen still right behind. Oh, the 87 of Nick Sudik in the grass there. Dipping some toes in the grass. That is not going to help through the bus stop. Although he's still able to salvage a pretty good series of corners there. Let's go ahead, since we are pretty close to halfway here, and before these guys and girls get down pit lane, let's go ahead and go through the field. Mitchell Welker, currently your leader, started in first, and well, he's still in first. Fastest lap of 1:12.279. Second place, Jared Wakefield, also started on the front row. Still very good race, still within 3 seconds of the leader. Anything can happen. Zach Passon was up to second there for a couple laps. We did not see exactly how the 72 got around the 19, but still hanging on to him. Still within a second to the 72 of Jared Wakefield. Chad Simpson with a strong race. That first lap 1 incident, not anything of his doing. The 40 car of Zach Buchanan just tried to clear himself, did not realize the 42 was there. Sarah Tessum started in 8th up to 5th so far, holding off these guys. Dropped off, may have also blown the bus stop. That's very common. So, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to speculate. But solid race here for Sarah. But we are getting some good battles here for 5th place, as the right behind her, the 87 of Nick Sudik. Started 7th, he's up to 6th right now. He's been holding off the 84 of Bobby Sweeney, who started in 17th. Avoided that first lap 1 incident, and he's up to 7th right now. Brendan Queen started in the back in 16th, also avoided that lap 1 incident, and has been having a very solid night after restarting in the back. Moved up to 8th, and he's been very solid this evening. His last lap still very within 4/10 of his best lap of the night. So solid night from Brendan Queen for his Fuel Series premiere. Jared Dixon in the 16. No Fear 16, unbranded. Currently running 9th. Also survived that lap 1 incident. Good job, Jared. Lyle Swearingen was involved in the lap 1 incident, but he was able to get his damage repaired and get back around to compete. So running in 10th at the moment. 52 of Ryan Kish running in 11th. A little bit of damage, but decided to just go ahead and power through it. Evan Adams running 12th right now. Solid race for Evan. Our last car on our lead lap is the 37 Amina Diorsi. Also keeping her nose clean. Started dead last, but right now running in 13th. Good race for Mina. All right here. Oh, as the 87, I was just about to say this battle has really heated up. The 84 of Bobby Sweeney. We're going to go on board with the 84 here. We're going to ride along in his cockpit here to see exactly what the race off of pit road is going to look like for these guys. Bobby wants a clean stop here so he can get out quickly. All right. Bobby is away. A 15-second stop, not the fastest. Should be very close, about identical. So the 87 of Nick Sudik and the 84 of Bobby Sweeney, both fresh tires. These guys are going to be going at it here with just 18 to go, just over halfway. Evan Adams, that is for position, but Evan saves it though. He did get into the wall, entering the S's. He's still rolling. Still a good battle between these guys right here. Another really decent battle. Zach Passon in the 19. He's 1.2 back from Jared Wakefield now. Maybe Jared was saving something a little bit ago. Man, these guys up front, Mitchell Welker really picking up the pace. A 1:12.4, still running in the 1:12s. Only 0.2 off his fastest lap, his last lap. But Jared Wakefield actually with a little bit faster lap. A 1:12.374. Really wondering when these guys are kind of going to come down pit road. They are well over halfway now. Front three cars not opting to pit this time. '84 Bobby Sweeney still working over the 87 of Nick Sudik. It is very hard to pass here unless the guy in front of you makes a mistake because it's so fast. Oh, something happening with Evan Adams there. Oh, a lot of damage on that 59 car. I saw that there was a change of position. Evan Adams towing to the pit road. Zach Passon, closed way in on Jared Wakefield here. So the battle for second place is on. 68 of Lyle Swearingen maybe have just come out of the pits there in front of our leader, the 76 Mitchell Welker. Lyle was in 10th prior to the other guys pitting, now in 12th. Bobby Sweeney still working over Nick Sudik here, just looking for any kind of chance to get around him. We've been hounding him all night. That's one of the most frustrating things as a driver. You know you're faster than the guy in front of you, and you catch up to him 3 or 4 times, and you just can't get around him. But Brendan Queen passing Sarah Tessum as she comes down pit road in that number 70 LaCroix Chevrolet. Brendan going long here with the same strategy as our top 4 so far. Jared Dixon also going long. Ryan Kish still not down pit road either. Sarah getting a full tank and 4 fresh tires. We do have a battle for second place, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah Tessum coming out right next to Bobby Sweeney and Nicholas Sudik. She was in front of them before the pit cycle, but she does have 3 or 4 lap newer tires than the guys in front of her, so she should be able to catch up to them and battle for that 8th place. Zach Passon gets around Jared Wakefield because Jared Wakefield down the pit lane for his stop tonight. Mitchell Welker looks like he's happy to run the tank out. Lap number 24 of 38. Chad Simpson also coming down pit lane, the number 42. .52 of Ryan Kish in for his stop. Brendan Queen just leaving his box. Going to come out a little bit behind the guys he was battling before just for going really, really long. But we'll have 4 lap fresher tires than the 87 and the 84. But a 4-second gap between him and the 70 of Sarah Tessum, where those guys are. Should really start to see a big difference here in a couple more laps once Bobby Sweeney and Nick Sudik here, their tires get old. The 70 of Sarah Tessum is going to be all over them. Same with the 03 of Brendan Queen. Mitchell Welker just now leaving his box after his pit stop. 77 of Ryzen Baker, they're going to get one of his laps back. Just calmly up through the S's for the 76 Fast Orange machine. Zach Passon out on the track right in front of the 72 of Jared Wakefield as they swap positions. The 72 of Jared Wakefield is going to try to take advantage of Zach's cold tires and is able to do it. Gets around him through the bus stop. A great textbook pass through the bus stop there. Zach Passon still waiting on the tires to heat up so he can come back at the 72 here. Yeah, the 52 of Ryan Kish did opt to repair his damage. He was in his box for 1 minute and 40 seconds. So he did opt to get his damage repaired. This is currently our closest battle on track. But now that we've gotten through the pit cycle, we'll get one nice little turn it up here as we are approaching 10 to go. So why don't you guys go ahead and grab that dial, turn it up. I will shut up so you guys can enjoy. As we see the battle, Mitchell Welker down pit road for some reason. I just came back from a little break there. I'm not sure exactly why Mitchell Welker down pit road. This is an interesting development, and he is tumbling down the order, not taking any tires. Been in his box for 20 seconds. I'm not sure exactly why, but looks like Mitchell Welker removing himself from the race. Jared Wakefield, your leader at the moment now. This battle here was for second. I was about to come out of the break, but this battle is for the win now between Jared Wakefield and the 19 of Zach Passon. Mitchell Welker still in his box. I'm sorry for the lack of a better word. Maybe flabbergasted would be the word I would use to describe how I feel there. But wow, shocking turn of events. I can't believe it. So we got a real battle here for the lead. Mitchell Welker disconnecting. He is gone. He is out of the race. Wow. I did not see that coming. After dominating the race, Mitchell Welker, I guess something must have come up. He has to go do that. I'm not sure. I am shocked. I'm shocked. But we are going to be glued to the battle here between the 19 of Zach Passon and Jared Wakefield. The closest battle on track, and it just happens to be for the win at the moment. Jared Wakefield did get a W last season at Martinsville in his number 72 Chick Hicks machine. Oh, Zach Passon really wide there on the exit of the second to last corner. I can't remember the exact number for all these corners. I apologize. Full disclosure. Wow, let me try to recalibrate here what I was thinking about. It's starting to get really dark out here too, really cloudy. We're right along, right behind the 72 here in the 19, or on board with the 19 is Zach Passon. Yeah, Mitchell Welker now 2 laps down, has completely disconnected, will not be coming back. I have no idea what went down there. Gonna have to check the Discord here in a minute. Yeah, no explanation at the moment. Sorry about that. Holy wow, I'm still shocked. Well, now these guys know they're racing for the win, I guess. So I expect this to really heat up. Mitchell Welker not even actually going to get he's not even going to get the fastest lap. Actually, Zach Passon so far with the fastest lap of the night. So that'll be a 5 points. That'll be 5 bonus points if Zach's able to hold on to that. Leaders get around the 77 of Ryzen Baker there. Really classy move from Ryzen, letting these guys fight it out for the win. 19 is Zach Passon trying to get to the inside of the 72, Jared Wakefield in the carousel. These guys are both going to exit strong. The 19 with some momentum, going to try to use it to get to the inside. Not going to be able to do it. Well, he's going to go for it here, the inside. Let's see if it's able to stick. 72 of Jared Wakefield giving him plenty of room. Not able to get around him is the 19 of Zach Passon. The 72 of Jared Wakefield, though, the better position, but Zach Passon able to carry some momentum around the final corner. They're side by side across the line. Jared braking a little bit earlier for turn 1, has the preferred line. Could run the 19 off the track if he wanted to, but is not going to do it. 19 of Zach Passon with the momentum, trying to get around him here, and is going to be able to pass him. In the S's, Zach Passon gets it done. Still 5 laps to go here for the 72 of Jared Wakefield, so plenty of time to make something happen. Both of these guys now with a completely different motivation than they had 5 laps ago. Now Jared Wakefield actually with the best lap of the race. He ran 3 laps ago. The 1:12.65. And that 72 of Jared Wakefield now right back up to the back bumper of the 19. See if he's able to make up any ground here in the bus stop. Really good entry, not as good of an exit. Just try to stay patient through the carousel. It is so tempting to just mash the pedal there. Here we go, so you guys can see the live timing for the gap. 0.3 of a second. The sun is starting to come out on this side of the track though, so it should start getting a little more slippery. So we're getting just a couple laps to go, 3 laps to go this time by as they cross the start finish line and go into turn number 1. Jared Wakefield closing in just a little bit, the closest he's been in a little while. Better entrance to the bus stop for the 72. Oh yes, a much better exit as well this time. Going to go a little wide here to try to get some momentum. Start accelerating a little harder. Let's see if that pays off. I don't know that it's going to. Spun the tires there in the carousel, trying to get just a little too much. That's what we were talking about last time by. The 19 of Zach Passon blows the second to last corner. Jared Wakefield all over the back of him now. Less than a 0.2 of a second advantage. Jared Wakefield gonna try for a pass on his inside here going into turn 1. Jared thinks better of it, does not attempt the pass this time. When is Jared gonna try to make the move? He's got a lap and a half to do it. The next time they come by, they will see the white flag in Barney's hand on the flag stand. Only 2 more times through the bus stop. Jared has been better the last couple laps through the bus stop. Gonna go wide in the carousel here to try to do what he attempted to do last time. I don't know if it's gonna work. He's losing a little more time this time. Oh, he had it last time around. Should have went for that pass in turn 1. Let's see if he's able to get close enough to try again this time. Zach Passon is going to come out of the final corner and he's going to see the white flag. As they come off of the final corner, white flag is in the air. .72 of Jared Wakefield giving it everything he has there. Going to try to get everything on the exit. He's going to need the 19 of Zach Passon to slip up here. He's now further back than he has been in the last several laps. half a second gap. Final time through the bus stop. 72 of Jared Wakefield giving it everything he has. The 19 of Zach Passon, though, still the 6/10 of a second advantage. Zach Passon just needs to hold on to it for 2 more corners. He's able to hold on there. As Jared Wakefield with an amazing corner, but he's not going to be able to get to him unless the 19 slips up. He does not. Only a 3/10 of a second advantage. The 19 of Zach Passon gets it done for the victory at Watkins Glen International Raceway. Excellent race between the 19 of Zach Passon and the 72 of Jared Wakefield. Man, that really that got really exciting there. after a dominant performance for Mitchell Welker, but Mitchell brings it down with 8 laps to go and leaves the session. See, I have no idea why. Oh, I'm here. Okay, so I am. So actually, Mitch apparently money shifted and destroyed his engine. Wow. Wow. I'm shocked. That is crazy, but either way, congratulations to the 19 here, Zach Passon. We're going to hear from him in just a few minutes. I'm going to give these guys a few minutes to cool down, give Zach a minute to burn it down, and I'll be back after I maybe gather a little more information. I'll see you guys in just a minute with our winner, Zach Passon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with your winner, Zach Passon in the number 19 car, with a really great battle with the 72 of Jared Wakefield. But before I get to congratulating you, what went through your mind when you heard what happened to Mitch, money shifting into turn 1 with 8 to go?
I thought it was actually a joke because he was just kind of checked out on the rest of us, like, just a tenth or so better each lap.
Yep.
And then he goes, I just money shifted. Good win, guys." And I think Jared and I collectively, our jaws hit the floor at that moment. We're like, "What?" So then I think it dawned on both of us, like, "Oh, this is the win now." We were all kind of cruising, just riding, pacing. Whoever's better would go, and then we're like, "Oh, okay. Actually, now we have to like race pretty hard." So that was a lot of fun. Just feel bad for Mitch.
Yeah, that was So congrats on the win, first of all. But that was definitely, I would say, the leading story there for that race. That was really shocking. I wasn't sure what happened either. At first, I thought maybe something happened. He just had to leave or something. But yeah, congrats on the win. What was that shift in mentality from riding to try to race for second to being like, oh, I'm racing Jared for the win.
Yeah, it was. I think it both dawned on us about the same time because the run before the pit stop, we had been pretty close pace wise. We each had our strong points on the lap, and so it was like, okay, whoever got a better run would go. We weren't gonna like hold each other up, within reason, But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was a pretty definitive, like, oh, okay, that we just have to pick up the pace now,
Yeah, it was just
and
like a
having the
switch
fresh
flipped and it's
tires.
on now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, that was a good race. That was a really great race from both of you guys. Mitch was only 3 seconds up, which, compared to what he was doing a couple weeks ago at Long Beach is nothing. But, you guys were still with him. So, anything could have happened, and I'm glad you guys stayed in it because that was a fun battle, that last 8 laps.
Yeah, I was talking to Jared afterwards. I've known Jared a long time, and we've raced together a lot. And I think that's probably the best him and I have ever raced in anything ever. It was a ton of fun in the car, both making respectful moves, and we were both making mistakes. We weren't great the whole way around the racetrack, um, and just kind of taking the chances when they were there, but not being overly aggressive. We both knew at the end of it we're going to finish 1-2, whichever way that is. So that was a ton of fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys raced really respectful of each other there as well. I don't think you guys really even touched each other, so that was great to see. That was a lot of good action. Congrats on the win and taking that nice new paint scheme into victory lane on its what, second attempt?
Yeah, if things fall a little different, it goes to victory lane first week, but Chad got him one. That was cool, and man, it's the guys are gonna give me guff about this. They're like, oh, he's gonna win tonight, and I'm like, if Mitch is here, it's no, I'm gonna run third to fifth. We're gonna have a good fun night, and sure enough, we just got lucky and had a really ended up having a good shot at it. Um,
But hey,
and proved,
sometimes what is that old Richard Petty quote? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
we were definitely lucky tonight.
But you were good enough to beat the 72 of Jared Wakefield. So I will say congrats on the win. Is there anybody you want to thank before we pull Jared up and hear from him?
Just everybody, Will over at Fuel, all the admins for keeping this thing going. Brendan made it out tonight. That was cool. I'm glad we were able to get him in here tonight, run some races, and then of course, Jared for running so well there and so respectful. That was just a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, everybody, Zach Passon in the 19 gets it done again. We'll go ahead and hear from the 72 of Jared Wakefield. Probably going to ask him a very similar line of questions because that was definitely an interesting finish. But welcome, Jared. Welcome. Real quick, Jared, I wanted to before we dive into the fight there for the win. What went through your mind when you heard what happened to Mitch, and then also described like that change in mentality going from racing for second to racing for the win?
Uh, to be honest, it wasn't that big of a change because I made a pretty aggressive move on Zach once he got off pit road to get back in second. Because once I realized he had not taken tires, I was pretty confident I was going to be able to get back there or get close. And if he made a mistake or if something happened, I could get up there. I didn't anticipate the mistake being a missed shift. So when that happened, I was kind of like, oh, crap. Like, I had been pushing pretty hard and I was running my fastest laps of the race. And I could tell my stuff wasn't cliffing, but it was starting to get hot. Tires and brakes were hot. So I was having a little bit of trouble stopping, having a little bit of trouble turning. And I was like, man, I know Zach was being a little nicer to his stuff. He had a lap fresher stuff. And I'd said I wouldn't have done anything different. I mean, there's nothing you could do in those situations. But, like, normally for the 72 grain Hull machine, we got a strategy our way to the front, and then we had the pace to kind of stay there. But tonight we were just up front. So that's a win in itself. We've had a rough couple weeks start the season. So it honestly didn't change that much. Like, we were happy to be running up there and just, getting a nice podium. I wasn't going to do anything crazy to Zach or anything. Just wanted to bring home a good finish time.
Well, you definitely did that. Second place for that 72 car. So, like, describe exactly for me how the car changed through the run. I didn't get a chance to ask Zach that, but you were saying that the 73 or sorry Mitchell Welker didn't take tires. You thought you might be able to catch him there. Were tires a huge advantage tonight?
If you could keep them cool, yes. But honestly, the deck wasn't really bad. And Zach and I were actually talking about when Mitch pulled away and we saw he was 10 seconds up the road. We're like, oh, he definitely didn't take tires or only took lefts. But yeah, I think for me, I was getting really loose off. Like I was pretty planted in. I did overheat the brakes for a little bit, but I was able to get them back cooled down. It felt like, at least what it felt like to me. I was just having a hard time stopping. I played with the bias. That didn't really help much. But I was able to kind of, back off just a little bit into the braking zones and get them back to feeling like they were working normal. Loose off is what was killing me. I felt like I was really closing in on Zach in 10, 11, and occasionally turn 1 if he would push it a little wide, but he was able to get to the power just a little quicker on the exits. If I did that, I was getting loose. I was really loose out of carousel. I think with like 3 to go, I kind of pulled up along the outside and was going to try to diamond down and get back.
Yep, I remember it vividly.
I had tried that move a few times in practice, and it felt good. And I think the track just heated up a little bit with all the rubber going down on it. And I felt the tires kind of just snap loose.
Yeah,
like, okay,
you got really loose.
I had one more.
Yeah, that was kind of it.
I had one. Yeah, I had one more chance into turn 1, right? But also, Zach and I kind of talked about before we got up here. I felt like I had already made kind of my aggressive move already. We kind of agreed not to kill each other because we were so far ahead. I had already made my aggressive move in the butt stop and kind of just snuck through between him and the wall. Last thing I wanted to do was take us both out of contention and hand the win to a points rival for both of us. So, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, still a really great, solid performance from you. Get that second place. Let's go ahead and hear from our third place finisher as well. Congrats, Jared. Is there anybody you want to thank before we talk to Chad?
Big thanks to the Grange Hall guys, Sudik and Dixon. We didn't have a lot of inter-team chatter tonight, but they both brought home pretty good results. I know on the Indy side they've been pretty good, but over here on the Cup side, it's been a couple of weeks of tough sledding, a lot of wrecked race cars, and just kind of bad luck. Like last week with kind of the strategy just felt like we made a good strategy call, it just didn't work out, and had to get really aggressive to try and stay in the fight. It didn't make many friends along the way, but proved that we can run up front. The win that we had at Norca last season wasn't a fluke, thanks to the Project 2 team as well. Thanks to Zach for an excellent race. Definitely one of the best races we've ever had, and we've been racing together for a while. So yeah, good second place. Was hoping for a good result here. Was nervous about pace at the start, but we found it, and this is kind of the run we needed to turn around the fuel season. It's been miserable for us so far, so moving forward.
Gotten
literally
caught
and
up in
figuratively.
some wrecks early on, but good race tonight, man. Congrats on the second place and the solid run.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our third place finisher, Chad Simpson in the number 42 car. How was your race tonight, Chad? We didn't see you a lot outside of that lap 1 incident. Can you kind of take us through exactly what happened there or what you think happened there from your perspective? Have you gotten a chance to look at it?
Yeah, I think Zach had sent it inside, and we were 3 wide, and I just wasn't exactly sure how much room I had on my left. Um, Mostly because Sarah was behind me in my blind spot. I could see Christian, but I wasn't sure where Sarah was. So I just kind of exited that corner in a lane and kept the wheel straight and hoped for the best. And saw Zach come across my nose and was lucky enough to escape that with minor cosmetic damage, I guess. I didn't really see anything on the car, but I had 16 seconds optional.
Yeah, you had slight
But
damage, I think, to the right front, but honestly, not anything crazy. I take it the car didn't feel any different afterwards.
nah, I didn't even notice. So it shouldn't have been a podium, but I guess all the people that died there really helped out. And then Mitch grenading his engine sealed it.
Yeah, I was gonna
Uh,
ask what went through. Did you I guess you didn't know exactly what happened. So did you hear anybody say anything over the radio in the race?
Well, I saw in tow, so I knew something had happened, but I didn't know what. I didn't expect that he had crashed. I thought maybe he like got into a little lap car or something, but those V&M shifters, can't rely on them. So the engine thing just kind of gave everybody a spot, and Sadiq had, the undercut worked really well for him. He had
Yes.
undercut me by 4 laps and gained at least 3 seconds on me by the time I had stopped, and he was putting pressure on, and I was trying to drive the wheels off that car to stay ahead of him, and luckily that extra 4 laps finally got to his tires, and it was enough for me to keep him in the mirror. But he was making me sweat.
It ended pretty close for you guys. There was only a 1.3 second gap at the end there, so still pretty dang close.
At one point, he'd gotten it down to half a second. I caught a lap car that was driving off the track, and it slowed me down, and Sadiq had closed up half a second, and the tires just weren't there for him to really make a strong push.
Well, congrats on the solid third place finish. More than likely, given the results for our championship leader at the moment, I think that probably would vault you at the moment to first in the championship. But we'll have to see how the bonus points play out. But really strong night for the 42. Anybody you want to thank before we send you guys on your way?
Yeah, thanks the team at Seraph Secure, your wonderful anti-scam software. Check them out. FPR Simrig Accessories Creation Studio, Els Engineering, Submotion, FTT, FR. Satellite Racing, FPR Motorsports. Lyle was really struggling today to figure out this car. So I know he had a last lap thing as well. And he was too far right in his box because we fuel on the right side here, and he wasn't ready for it. Sorry about that. The admins here, good job. We get a caution on a road course, things that you don't see a lot on iRacing. And the fan club sticking through it. I know they don't like watching road races a lot, but bring home a solid finish.
Well, congrats to Chad, congrats to Jared, and congrats to Zach Passon on the win. You guys had a great night, and you guys go celebrate with your teams, and we'll wrap this broadcast up. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up our coverage for tonight's race here at Watkins Glen International. Go ahead and check on our finishing results. I did go through it real quick for you afterwards, but we'll go through it again. The number 19, Zach Passon, gets the win here over Jared Wakefield's number 72, who finishes second. Chad Simpson in that 42 with a strong night finishes third. 87 and Nicholas Sudik in fourth. That 84 of Bobby Sweeney, never able to get around Nick, but still finishes with the top 5. Sarah Tessabin, the 70, comes home 6th. Jared Dixon's number 16 comes home in 7th place. In 8th, the 68 of Lyle Swearingen. In 9th, the 03 of Brendan Queen, making his fuel debut. The 10 of Ryan Kish and that number 52 machine brings it home 10th after getting caught up in that the lap 1 incident. 11th place, Mina Diorsi with a great finish. Awesome job, Mina, just keeping it clean and getting all the laps in. The 11th place. 12th place in the 77, Ryzen Baker. 13th, the 76 of Mitchell Welker after unfortunate luck. Unfortunately, downshifting one too many and blowing the engine. 14th, the 98 of Jackson Robillard. 15th, Evan Adams in the 59. 16th, the 38 of Rob Kubat. 17th, the 18, of Richard Hurst. 18th, the 40 of Zach Buchanan after getting caught up in that lap 1 incident is going to bring it home in 18th. 19th is 08, our championship leader going into this race. Not able to run a single lap, getting destroyed lap number 1. 19th for him, and Will Roberts also getting destroyed in that lap 1 incident. Going to round out our field in 20th. So, as we go ahead and preview next week, we are going to be at Darlington Raceway next week for 136 laps. Should be a very, very challenging race for these guys at Darlington. But tomorrow night, come out and race with us at Iowa Speedway for 150 laps of the Fuel World Series. Last week we didn't get the numbers that we wanted. Didn't continue with the broadcast at Indianapolis. So come on out tomorrow night at Iowa Speedway. It should be a fun time. I want to keep broadcasting the World Series. So come race with us. Come race some Indy cars. But that's going to be it for me and FRN here. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week at Darlington Raceway.